this protest. What does this protest do? Does it reverse state of emergency? Does it? What exactly do you think a protest now would accomplish? Aside exercising your rights, what would it accomplish with regards to the situation that we're facing now in Rivers State?
Like I said, it's important for Rivers people to register their displeasure. It's very, very, very important. I'll give you an instance. About a couple of months back, the president removed the project coordinator of High Prep. And it was not, the project coordinator was replaced with not somebody that was not Rivers State, not Niger Delta, somebody outside of the Niger Delta to head that project. And the response was sweet by Ogoni people was very swift. As a matter of fact, that same evening, the Ogoni people were registering their grievances, their lack of support for that particular decision. And immediately, it didn't take 72 hours. The president changed his mind and rescinded these decisions. Now, we must understand that some of these decisions that the government takes might be decisions based on false information, might be decisions based on the certain positions that people close to them, people pushing their interest have out to them, that they take certain decisions that they have taken. So, by protesting, Rivers people are making it. What they want Rivers to say is basically, for 6 months, have a sole administrator that was not elected by Rivers people. You have him in control of Rivers State allocation, which is approximately 45 billion every month for next. So Rivers State is going to stand still because the sole administrator he's limited by the actions he can take. He can simply maybe pay salaries to civil servants and all that. Other actions, other projects, other things that a sitting government, a sitting legislature, would have been able to do and bring benefits to the Rivers people, they can't do it for 6 months. It's a long time. It's a long time. It's not something Rivers people should sit down and say, it don't happen, it has happened, let's let it slide. It's not. Because Rivers State is an important state to this nation. Politically, economically, no matter how you want to see it, it's an important state in this country. And we should not be in a situation whereby we are operating federalism, where the constituent parts of this country should be free to make their own political and economic decisions. And you come and the first thing you're trying to do is to just, uproot the government and put in someone else there. That should not be allowed. You have states up north that have been battling terrorism for years. Thousands of people have been dying. And state of emergency have been declared from time to time. But no governor has been actually for the security apparatus in this country. They are under your command. There are ways that you can implement, seek or apply to protect critical infrastructure in Rivers State, to protect the peace in Rivers State. Why the government of the day is still there and functioning? Deny Rivers people representative. So how is it that all of a sudden your response to Rivers people being denied of representative was to now suspend 2 arms of government?
Oh, okay. So your point is, if the president had said one arm of government suspended, wasn't functioning, was the problem, then he's now suspending two arms of government. So how does that solve the problem?
How does it solve the problem?
What then do you think was the motive? If from what you're saying, clearly you're stating that excuse isn't really what this is. That's what you're implying, is it?
No, it isn't. It simply isn't, because you cannot say that, okay, because they say that pipelines were destroyed. That's why state of emergency and two arms of government were suspended. But reports coming in from the Trans-Niger pipeline, the people managing it, have said that, okay, no, this is not an act of sabotage. This is probably equipment failure from our own end and all that. So you can also now see that a lot of the actions that were taken that preempted this decision by the president were not really how they were thinking it. And it makes you think, is it that some of these things are things that have already been thought of and they've already been planned to be put in motion, and an opportunity came and it was quickly put in motion, because there's nothing that's happening in Rivers State that has not happened in Rivers State before, or does not happen in other states before. It begs the question, why at this point in time are we not having to take these drastic decisions, these decisions that do not, when you weigh them with what is happening, it makes no sense. Why are we doing that? So we need to understand that there are motives behind this, more than what is being put to the public for us to see.
Are you not worried that a protest could be interpreted as maybe disturbing the peace, or even, a protest could right now point to the direction of this was why we needed a state of emergency, and so on and so forth? I mean, at this time, everybody's just walking on ice. It's trying to ensure that, yes, the state has been really peaceful even before we had the state of emergency declared. But then, now that the state of emergency has been declared, there are those that let's try not to create a reason to give people the idea that,
there's a peaceful protest, a peaceful demonstration, and an insurrection. There's nobody calling for an insurrection. Even the sole administrator himself has made it known that he's going to protect those rights. People have the right to protest. It's a fundamental human right. When we are talking about calling for protest, we're not saying that is to destabilize the state or cause more tension in the state. It's simply to register displeasure and let the government of the day understand that this action that is taken is not supported by the plurality of Rivers people. And we do understand and we do know. I do not want us to get into the argument of the constitutionality, the legality, the powers of the president. Those are not. When you have those arguments, you lose sight of the bigger picture. The president has powers, extraordinary powers, far-reaching powers. That's not an argument for us to make. What we are discussing now, the morality or the reason that these actions have been. What have these actions been hinged on? Is it necessary? Is it important, or is it simply another strategic move towards 2027, towards ensuring that Rivers State does not fall into the hands of the opposition, towards ensuring that Rivers State does not become a source of mobilization ground, a source of convergence for political opposition, to create resources or deploy resources for opposition to challenge the government, because there is no reason why anything in Rivers State cannot be amicably settled. There's nothing spectacular. There's nothing grand about what's happening in Rivers State. We're not talking about World War II negotiations between the Allied and the Axis. We are just talking about, it's all about power. It's all about power before different contending forces. There's no reason why Rivers State, the interests of Rivers State, cannot be put at the center of that, and whatever decisions are made to revolve around, does this benefit Rivers State? Now, the simple question we must ask ourselves, the state of emergency for the next 6 months, does it benefit Rivers State? The answer is no.
All right. 92.3 Nigeria Info. We have a commercial coming. I'll take some few comments first on Facebook. We are streaming live at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Just is good, but we need to be aware that we have military sole administrator. Ineka Oriaku says, with the current president silence in this matter, Rivers State Otilo market, it may not be protest though, but Rivers people should rise and kick against it. UT King says, in Nigeria, we don't have democracy under this APC. Nubari says, protest for what? Donald says, yes, need a serious protest for like 2 weeks. Prince Hardy says, no need for the protest. Let me remind the general public, the sole administration has warned those undermining the president's declaration of emergency in Rivers State. Collins Gumagu says, there is no need for the protest. Rivers people are wise people who will never protest against Mr. President's decision for emergency. For me, Rivers State is in peace. I will not support any act of protest. Koate Martin says, protest against the emergency in Rivers State is not necessary because it won't change anything. There are better things the state can think of, and one of them is to see a way to be on the same page with the administrator. And for the politicians involved, I think dialogue should be the way forward. Let me pause here and put this question to you. Have you thought about using the courts? I mean, we saw Serap just recently approach the courts, seeking to look into the state of emergency declaration and the constitutional provisions of it with regards to suspending the two arms of government in this state. Isn't that a better approach? Do you think that would make more sense, or is this something that you will consider later, or have you even thought about it yet?
Yeah, it's something that we've thought about. But I like to make certain positions clear. Slavery was legal, apartheid was legal, and all that. And I remember during the apartheid regime, there was a period where we had the ANC, where Black South Africans were contemplating on methods, and there was a long thesis that Mandela wrote. Sorry for going around.
No problem.
In it, he said that our struggle must have many tactics. We must have many tactics to address what it is we want to address. Yes, I've seen a court process that has been put in motion by one person and other Rivers people, and it's a good one. But we know that the constitutionality of what it is that we are trying to argue has already been tested before the courts, and the judgments are there. When you're talking about courts, you're talking about judgment in Nigeria that takes years. that before the judgment for that will come, this government is gone. So if the state of emergency wants to be there for 18 months, 2 years, it's going to be there. And that case is going to be there. Been designed, I say that purposely, has been designed to frustrate people who are seeking for justice. And if you look at how our court has functioned over the years, when the apex court, which is infallible because it is final, you see that a lot of the judgments that
"29 minutes past 8. The conversation continues here on the Morning Crossfire. And I'll quickly remind you again that Nigeria Info is making listeners millionaires. All right. So you're a fan of Nigeria Info. You listen to our shows. Well, just keep listening. And with 500 naira, there's plenty that you can get for yourself. Trust me. All you need to do is just use the code *347 *880 *6#. That's it. All right. The code again is *347 *880 *6 #. And with that code, you can get a ticket with 500 naira and you get the opportunity to win extra cash from within 50 to half a mil or even a million naira. Yeah, so that's how we're doing it here on Nigeria Info. You must have heard it from some of our stations in Lagos or our stations in Abuja, but we've been doing it there, but now we're doing it in Port Harcourt. And yeah, you guys can win and change your lives. There's a lot that money can do for you this period, so go play now. All right, again, the code is *347 *880 *6 #. And shout outs to our partners who are helping us do this, onepay.ng. You can also visit their website and you get more details on how we are going about all of this. So just purchase your ticket at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That's so I don't know what I'd say to you. I'm pretty sure you guys are smart. You wouldn't miss it. My guest is still with me in the studio. And it's been very interesting as trying to tell us his position and why he thinks this protest is necessary. For those who do not know, he is the national president for Niger Delta Congress, Nubari, Saatah. We'll open the phone lines now and take your thoughts. He believes that the protest is necessary. Whether it reverses the state of emergency or not, it is very important that Rivers people express their displeasure with what they are saying, because in his opinion, if we don't, it might just lead to taking more and more, because the people are quiet, keep reaching out to take more and more. But then there are those that are of the opinion that we should be worried that this doesn't snowball into some, form of public disorder. There's also that concern. But there's only one way to find out, and that is to hear what you guys think about the whole situation. Again, you can join a live stream on Facebook at Nigeria Info. Gift Meshak D says, but if you want to do protest for real, let it be in Abuja, which was exactly going to be my next question. Does a protest here really send the message that I'm thinking you are trying to send? Shouldn't this be happening in Abuja instead?
As to say, having a protesting, but it means that happened in Port Harcourt. So I think it is there to have that protest.
But that was given in Abuja, and for people, they think if you have the opinion that the president has been fed wrong information most of the times, which is what you were alluding to, well, shouldn't it be best to take the message directly to him now so he hears it himself and not from a third party?
No. That's not necessary. That's almost like saying when we led the protest in Rivers State, the End Bad Governance protest in Rivers State, the hardship protest in Rivers State.
It was across the country.
Year.
That one was across the country. Is this going to be across the country?
It was against the actions that had led to hardship in this country. Actions that were caused by who? By the presidency.
But it was across the country. We had people protesting in Abuja. We had people in Lagos. We had people in Port Harcourt. We had people in all. So
the argument can be made that why didn't all these people move over to Abuja to protest, since the reasons?
But we had them protesting in Abuja.
That brought it should warrant them to protest there. That's not. I don't think that's how things work.
Don't you think if a state of emergency was declared in Abuja and other parts of the country, then you might make what the illustration you're giving now would make sense, because everybody from every part of those places would have to protest?
No, that's a different ballgame. That's a different ballgame entirely. That is a different ballgame entirely. Rivers people, if an action is taken in Abuja, Rivers people do not need to get on the next God is good bus going to Abuja, or on the next flight going to Abuja to go and protest. If you protest there, the media is there, you people are here, and you'll be able to send that message across to the president that, okay, yeah, this is what is happening in Rivers State as relates to the actions you have taken and the things you have said.
I don't know how well that will work, because you heard the president's statement about less. So let's not on that too much. Bring the next, please. Obviously, involved properly, and for a protest, you notify them at least. Whether they come or not is a different thing.
That's what we're saying. I think there have been judgments that have been given to that effect. You must not inform the police. Again, why it has been taken as a culture, been seen as a culture, and be encouraged as a culture to inform the police, simply because we are trying to, or rather, we have created a system whereby we try to force people to be accountable to the powers that be, the leadership of society, when at the end of the day you come to realize that the leadership, so-called leadership of the society, are not as open in their leadership of the people. They are much more focused on their own personal interests than the interests of the people. So you cannot now decide to skip who you're trying. People are putting in the situation that you find protest. As long as you're going to be peaceful, you're not trying to destabilize the state. You're not trying to harm people. You're not trying to cause violence. Here we don't like this. With the change decision, rescind a state governor. If this issue it continues to be protected, it's something that you can see another conversation with and see how it pans out. And
all right,
the way that it is.
Okay, quickly before we get to, because somebody is saying I should put the code on this we have the codes and all of that on the platform. If you scroll down, perhaps you would see earlier post where we have told you about how you can win those monies and the code that you need to dial to get your ticket and participate in that exercise to get yourself cash gifts from Nigeria Info. So, but then again, before we wrap up, I'll call out the codes again just to help you guys out. This person, Simon Oscar, says he's watching from Edo State and is in support of the protest because the president did not make proper findings before taking sides. Vincent Boniface says, I cannot protest for a governor that does not seem like he wants to fight for what is his. He should stand up and fight for his right. Besides, I'm not happy with him. Protest has never helped anyone in this country. The case of IPREP worked for good people because those that wanted the PC out were disappointed because the name that was sent to Mr. President was rejected. This one says okay. We already took that one. Let's go to the phone lines now. 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0007. You can also call 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-00. You can get through to us on the show this morning. Please, let's endeavor to keep it short and simple. Protest has never helped anyone in this country. Clever Sonny says. Rogers Okabie says, the governor, please, let the governor just focus on God and forget politics. This one says the protest is good, but it should be carried out in Abuja because if it takes place in Rivers State, the government will use it to justify their actions instead of seeing it as a reaction to their actions. Okwandu in Irebe, let's start with you. Good morning, Okwandu. Go on.
See, what is so-called state of emergency on Rivers State, I have never accepted. I'm not only in support of a protest, I am even offering myself to go and protest against it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Ken from Obimini, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Andrew.
Yes.
You know that this is not the time for protest. This is the time for diplomatic movement. We should think and know what to do concerning the state of this our state, concerning the condition, the tension in this our state. Staging for protest, you are hitting the policy of the issues in this state. I am begging. My name is Eze Ken Ojono.
All right.
Calling from Ugumini.
Let's go to Woji.
Let him cease whatever protest they are embarked to, or they are yet to embark on, because we need peace in Rivers State. Let posterity take its course.
All right, Ken, thank you. In Woji, Emmanuel on the line. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go on.
Hello, man.
Good morning, Emmanuel. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Hello?
All right, let's go to Stanley. I think Emmanuel is having issues with the line. Stanley's in Elelewon. Stanley.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You see, the problem that they will protest. When the governor went to the assembly quarter, where the assembly members are staying, he wanted to demolish there.
No, Stanley, that did not happen.
No.
Stanley, that did
No,
not happen.
you
I would not
understand
have
now?
you propagate that kind of information
No,
here.
I'm not
The
propagating-
governor did
I'm-
not go to the residence of assembly members and say he wants to demolish
governor
it.
went there.
He did not say he was going to demolish it. I need to clarify that. He did not.
No. Wait, now let me.
You
say what
said
he
the governor, when they wanted to demolish,
does not befit the assembly members.
that was
he's
not the
considering
context. We
demolishing
went
the
there, we covered that report, we had it on the news. So, Stanley, please don't try to twist anything. Go ahead with what you want to say. Let's leave that aside. We don't have
Okay.
time to start explaining that, please.
Okay, imagine the president waking up this morning and going.
And go and demolish assembly. Can we, as Rivers people, please
He
try and
did,
put things in proper
he
context?
did,
Stanley,
because of
make the
his
point you want to make.
impeachment.
Let's go on.
He did.
He did not
Because
just
of
wake
his
up and do it. There was an explosion at the assembly first.
We are looking for peace in River State. Please, your case should allow peace to reign in River State.
Simple.
Protesting
Talk to
would
the
aggravate
guest.
everything in this state.
All right. Thank you. Now you are
happy.
coming to the guest, and that's it. Not trying to drop what I don't understand. The facts and the reports of all of these things happened here in the state and were well covered by Nigeria Info, and we had those reports on radio. So it would be absurd to think that you would then come on and try to twist and turn and make impressions out of things like that. Please, let's not do that, okay? I'll give you the opportunity to do that. At the end of the day, say whatever you want to say, but I will not give you the opportunity to say what did not happen. Chima and Ada George, let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Andrew, protest is one of the ingredients of democracy. And what the president did in River State called for protest. So I'm in 100 because it is our right to tell the president that people deceived him into calling for state of emergency. Look at the reports I got from in the morning, your news. One of the experts says the pipeline that got fire is not as a result of any other thing, but the equipment failure. So how can the president, because of one pipeline blow, pipeline now is better than the life of an average river citizen, that the president will go ahead and declare state of emergency. So I'm in support of the protest, 100%.
But are you not worried that the protest is not properly handled could lead breakdown of law and order? I mean, if we look at the time in the country, especially protests of this nature.
Andrew,
yes.
Protest will not break down law and order. What the president have even done is it has break down law and order in the state. It's a peaceful protest. You understand? I don't know how people view protest. Protest is all about people trying to register their displeasure. Let us take this into consideration.
All right, Chima.
So there's nothing like any violence or whatever.
Thank you, Chima. We'll take two more calls. Justice Nubari, already on Nubari.
Good morning. Omudioga is very fine this morning and peaceful.
Go on.
Andrew, as we speak, prominent Nigerians have condemned the president's action. Former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and so many groups have condemned it. After that condemnation, what has happened? The president have not said anything. The president has not listed in suspension and reconsidered the state of emergency. I am still thinking that if any protest happens, it will not compel the president to reconsider that position.
All right.
Next, Andrew, something that was the reason for Mr. President's action, political instability in the state. Those calling for that suspension to be lifted and the state of emergency to be reconsidered, have they also assessed if there is political stability in the state to compel Mr. President to lift those suspensions? No. Check it.
All right. Letenbury, unfortunately, we don't have, I beg your pardon. We don't have all the time. I have to go to Letenbury quickly. We have a commercial coming.
I begin to see people bring an expired idea. For me, I begin to think what is responsible for the failure of the governor of Rivers State, the former governor of Rivers State. I see that it is the problem he has, that those who support him are responsible for his failure. How will you expect that they should recall back this governor that has already been on the letter of impeachment Are you saying they should call him back so that they will commence the impeachment process?
But that's the case. If the assembly feels that there's something the governor has done that should be impeached for, they should be able to do their job. The presidency should not stop them. They should allow them follow the impeachment process, and if the governor is found wanting, impeach him. Simple. Isn't that what democracy is? Isn't that why the assembly was there?
Which they might call him back. Is a question I need to ask. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. But I don't understand. Is it said constitutionally that a state of emergency should be declared because there's political disagreement? I don't think there's any when I looked at it. If the problem is impeachment, allow the assembly do their work. If the governor is guilty of anything, he should clearly simply be impeached after following due process. That's simple and short. Daniel, quickly, let me see that tomorrow will not one hijacked, which is something that most of the times we have seen happen in this country, in this state. Please, in 2 minutes.
Okay, the protest, let me make a correction. The protest is not holding. We've gotten responses from about 13 organizations who have reached out to us, willing to collaborate on that. So conversations will continue in the next 24 to 48 hours, and the date for the protest is going to be known after the Niger Delta Congress and these other organizations have agreed. Civil society organizations and other movements have agreed on the modalities and the date, and that will now be made public. There is a misconception I want to address. There is something with the way we do politics, quote unquote, in Rivers State. We are very, very, very sentimental. There was a caller that called, and he was trying to, the one that was talking about bombing House of Assembly, demolishing the quarters, and I was trying to mention where was the NDC. I would like to pay his attention to the fact that when the current minister of the FCT was attacked, not physically, verbally attacked by certain interest groups in northern Nigeria who were kicking against his nomination as Minister of FCT, one for being a Christian and from being a southern Nigeria. I would like to let him know that the Niger Delta Congress was the very first organization to stand with him. And what we also was to mobilize our sister organizations in the Middle Belt to come out and speak against that. And we must avoid bringing sentiment into things that need reasoning and logic. We must not bring, I support this person, I don't support this person. What has happened in Rivers State should not be tolerated. It's something that should not be tolerated. It's something that if it had happened in Lagos State, in the president's own state, it wouldn't be tolerated. It's something that if it happened in Kano State, it wouldn't be tolerated. Why then should it be tolerated? 2 days ago, I was listening to the radio and people were complaining of the negative impact the declaration made and how businesses or people who were looking towards investing in Rivers State are no longer investing. I would like to tell Rivers people that during the entire 8 years of the last government, Rivers State did not attract foreign direct investment up to $10 million. That is just roughly 10 billion naira. We are moving in a similar direction, limiting economic growth in Rivers State to just politics and all that. It's something that is going to be detrimental to the growth of Rivers State.
All right.
People are talking about instability, violence, protest. And I want to ask people, if a government can wake up and create reasons for declaring a state of emergency and suspending a government, do you think that government is not also capable of giving or creating the environment, the enabling environment to justify those actions that it has taken? Do people think that it is a protest that is going to give the government the justification to continue to keep what it has set in motion? No.
All right.
Do what he wants to do.
That's the much we can take, Mr. Saatah. Thank you very much for your time. We have to go now.
Thank you for having me.
For the man that asked for the code, so yeah, I told you Nigeria info with just 500 naira, you can be a part of it and you can become a millionaire, win yourself good amount of money. The code again is *347 *880 *6#. That is the code. Purchase your ticket from 17th to 31st of March. So it's limited to the opportunity to win mega prizes, courtesy Nigeria Info. It started since on the 17th and it will end on the 31st of March. So the code again, *347 *880 *6#. Or you go to the website of one of our partners, www.oneplay.ng, and you find out more. Thank you very much. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. This is where we wrap things up.
Are you having problems listening to us?